Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I know it has been quite a long time since I've recorded anything. A good portion of it is because of this build. The raw footage was 5 hours. 5 hours on this one house, and I had so many mess ups and fails. This was my first attempt at it, and I was building Colonial, but I didn't like the size of the lot, so I stopped. So you're welcome for saving you 40 minutes of me doing that. So this is the lot that I actually built the house on. With this house, I was building in a Colonial style, and I think I had a little bit of difficulty just because I had just done Cape Cod, and then I was doing Colonial, and there are kind of similarities between them. They were both used in America when it was still the colonies, and Georgian Colonial was popular both in the North and the South. My inspiration was kind of like these big houses I remember seeing in Massachusetts when I was younger, and they were always like historical sites, and they were always up on a hill. But they always have like this really pretty symmetry and landscape. And that drove me insane. You have no idea how much time I took trying to make it look nice and symmetrical, and the counting, and me just being a bit of a perfectionist. It kind of snowballed very fast. Similar with Cape Cod houses, Colonial is known for its symmetry. It's also known for having shuttered windows, columns, and during this time, there was a lot of influence of like ancient Roman Greek ideas of what places looked like, so hence the columns. Yeah, you're gonna see a lot of counting in this video, like a lot. It was hard to try to count correctly and make sure I had the right amount of space. I had lots of ideas, and I was kind of going in the opposite direction because the last house I made was super small and little and cute and quaint, so I'm like, all right, let me make a Colonial mansion, and that kind of bit me in the butt. I hated that idea for the roof. I'm glad I kind of redid that. I wasn't super happy with how it ended, but the roof was just a little too similar to the Cape Cod house, so that's kind of why I scrapped the idea. I went through a lot of options. I was just trying to make it different, but still make it cohesively Colonial, and I still wish there was those color matching swatches. You'll see that later. I also used like symmetrical chimneys because that was a big thing. And then I was gonna do the windows like this, but you'll see I kind of changed, like I was trying to make it symmetrical right here. Yeah, see, here I am just changing it and saying nope. It was not worth the effort. Definitely not. I really like how the columns look in front and kind of center it. Typically they have like 5 windows across, but I had 4 and a door, so I thought that was good enough. I'm still unsure if I like how I ended up, well, because I delete that window. We'll get to it. I'm still kind of trying to make everything look nice and even. I think that was the hardest part with this build, is keeping everything even. I had a lot of difficulty with, you'll see it shortly, but determining whether or not to keep it very like classical and traditional Colonial versus like, okay, if this is an old Colonial house, what changes have been made to it throughout the years. So I go mostly classical, but there are a few spots where I decide to change it up a little bit. We'll see, I have 5 windows in the back, so that should count, right? So here's what I'm talking about. In this corner, I decided to kind of go with a little bit different feel for the window. So it's not perfectly symmetrical. I mean, when is anything ever perfect? So, existential questions while doing a build? Yes, when it took me 5 hours and I literally left YouTube for, let me count my months, 7-ish months? Yeah, I haven't posted anything in like 7 months. Huh. Well, this was a behemoth of a project. Yeah, I wanted the larger walls too. It was just so many different things. While it's not this build entirely that like pulled me away from The Sims 4, I definitely think I needed a break, and I had a lot going on, and I want to start making more content again. I really enjoyed it. Just lifes. And then I was like, wait a minute, it's been that long since I made a video? Okay, whoops. I haven't had like this one and another one that hopefully both will be released soon, or maybe I'll release that one first. I haven't really decided yet. I'm just riffing, but you know, being an adult stinks sometimes. So I found it really difficult. First of all, the terrain tools, that just drove me insane, and me wanting it to be like perfect and symmetrical. Yeah, see, I went with the modern windows there. Really just, I don't know. I went a little wonky, not gonna lie. I love this house. I think it's beautiful, but it definitely got at my wit's end. I like the columns on the side. The next biggest thing I had after the terrain issues, trust me, the terrain issues will come up again, yay, was the landscaping. I thought there should be a lot of landscaping with this house, just because it is a massive lot, and I could see having like a pristine, perfectly manicured, the dirt stood out so much from the elevation change, because you will see very soon. Yeah, see, I decided I didn't like that and decided to play around here some more with it. Yeah, this was the most indecisive build I've ever done. Oh, right here. Yeah, so I wanted to get rid of the dirt, and you can't paint the dirt terrain tools, really. So that was frustrating, and then I cut out some more terrain tools. What are they called? I can't even remember. I just had a bad experience with those. Yeah, those terrain tools really messed me up. See, it kind of paints on that side, but not. It was, I don't know. I definitely need more practice with the terrain tools and making things look nice. And I was kind of gonna go with that feel, but I ended up changing my mind too, because I didn't like that. And then I was gonna add these little bushes on the side with then like the colors and have them as accents. And that didn't work either. This was literally just like one fail after another, and yeah, see, that didn't look good. I finally decided on using these square hedges and sizing them up. I think that looks a lot nicer and cleaner. I just wish I could have gotten like the sides where the elevation changes. I wish I could have gotten those like perfectly even, but I'm not gonna make myself go too crazy about this. I add some trees here to kind of hide it, and then I'm just gonna cut this side. Yep, so see, you're gonna have to watch me torture through that again. So we added some trees to kind of hide the unevenness of it, make it look a little bit nicer. And then yeah, I still wanted to use the bushes to kind of like use it as flower beds and to really isolate that. I love the little flower bushes or whatever these are called. I like the color. I wish though, looking back, I used more vibrant colors, because it does look very green. I wish it was something that was a little bit brighter. But yeah, that's just like a little nitpick I noticed. Even though we're only like 10 minutes in so far, an hour and a half of editing that's already been cut. Thankfully I can speed up. Otherwise, yeah. This is why this video took so long. As for the inside, I still wanted to look very symmetrical, but I wanted like a big grand showcase staircase type of thing. I thought the staircase would be at the front and at the center. I kind of played around with few different ideas with it. I really like with what I ended with, but let me see when I actually get there. There we go. So I kind of had like this wraparound type idea for the staircase, and then kind of having like a foyer and breaking it up with these arched columns, which would have been the inspiration of Greco-Roman inspiration behind colonial styles. It's also kind of like a little Easter egg, because I built this in Willow Creek for that one house, Brook Bungalow. It was like the first house when I originally got The Sims 4 that I had my Sims save up and purchase, so it kind of has a little bit of a sentimental value. And I was very particular about trying not to use too much dark wood versus too much light wood, trying to make the inside a little bit more brighter. So I use a lot of like lighter woods and whites in certain spots. And this is me just trying to break apart the space. I find it a lot easier to break apart and like figure out the layout of a downstairs versus an upstairs. I don't know why. I have like the main foyer, a formal dining room, kitchen, like a living room, family room, and then like probably it's a living room and then the family room's in the back and a half bath down there. And then I also kind of had like this door connecting the kitchen and the dining room, because in my thought process, you know, back then they wanted the kitchen kind of isolated to keep the heat out of getting out of the rest of the house. So that's why I have that little corridor there, and it makes more sense. But I decided just to add a doorway because I thought definitely, and I know I keep flipping, like going back and forth of whether or not it's like, is this 100% colonial or is it colonial with revisions? I figured somebody would put a doorway in between the kitchen and the dining room throughout the years, you know, a little deviation from the actual theme, but I like how I really like how the first floor ended up. I think it's really pretty. I like all the different wallpapers I use, and I loved that exposed brick I used in the kitchen. I'm glad I changed the floors, because that wasn't a super good idea. Me trying out every color is normal. I think that's my problem too. I have to like visually look at everything to determine whether or not I like it. And then because there's like 2 chimneys in the house, there has to be at least 2 fireplaces. It doesn't align exactly with the chimney, but there's like vents or something. Upstairs, I had a lot of problems. I figured that all the rooms would be kind of closed because it's an older house and that keeps heat in. I was trying to kind of figure this out, and I just did like a long hallway. Kind of ended up looking a little bit more creepy than I expected. And then for the bedrooms, there's really 4 bedrooms. Almost all of them have like an ensuite bathroom, and then I made like a dressing room or a walk-in closet, because if you have like a larger mansion house, especially back then, you would have had a lot of area for dressing. Sometimes I wonder if whether or not I should furnish these. I think it'd look really nice if I did, but then again, this took me 5 hours, so I don't know if my sanity would be able to handle adding furniture too, because then this would be even longer than it already is, and I think the bare minimum's good. Maybe I could do that in like another video, furnish them. That'd be kind of fun, but figure out these rugs. I never really liked what I did. It just wasn't perfectly even with the amount of rugs, but I had done enough. I don't think it looks terrible, but could have been a better way I could have fixed the rugs, and I hate it when the windows do that. And obviously they would have wanted fireplaces in the bedrooms to keep the rooms warm, and then I kind of kept the same wood that was downstairs upstairs. I really liked the bay window I added next to the stairs. I really leaned a lot into wallpaper. I think my brain just goes automatically, if it's old, it has wallpaper and like crown molding and stuff. I don't know, maybe that says something about me, but I actually really like the wallpaper like swatches in The Sims 4 too. I think there's a lot of really cool, pretty, like intricate designs. Yeah, I just thought Willow Creek would be a really nice place where this house would fit in. There are some similar architectures. I know there's a few modern as well, but I mean, even the house that I kind of demolished to build this one, it was kind of similar-ish, just not really. I just really wanted a large lot. And here's where I start the kitchen. And I think it was very just bright, and they looked very pretty and elegant. I tried something new here and put the vent underneath the cabinet. There we go. Okay, so here's the problem. I built this like 7 months ago, and me trying to remember why I did what, I don't know. Does it look good? Yes. Except for these lights. I changed that, you'll see, but yeah, I didn't like those lights. That was bad. And then I honestly think I'd probably add a washer and dryer, like a stacked one, in this little room that kind of connects the kitchen and the dining room. Yeah, I put a sink there, but yeah, I definitely add a washer and dryer. Chandeliers definitely, because especially if it's like candles before, I think there would have been a lot of chandeliers left over. So that was a little bit of my thought process there. It's just hard trying to find enough different chandeliers to use throughout, because I think that's why I used that one that I wasn't a fan of in the kitchen. I do go back and change it, and I went back and changed it while I was editing this. Don't know if that was the best idea, but I've bought a few more packs since then, and I still was like, there are no options with chandeliers. But I think that's why I put the different type of lamps upstairs, except for in the bedrooms. I think those are kind of more like Victorian-esque, but and then hide the little lights, because they just look so much nicer in all the rooms. Everything looks so much brighter with them. Yeah, I don't know what it is, just upstairs layouts always seem to trip me up. I feel like I always have to start with a hallway and then it connects, and I just feel like the flow is so much easier with downstairs. maybe I need to do more research about upstairs houses. I don't know. or houses with an upstairs. If you have any suggestions for like tips on how to build second or third floors for houses, please let me know. I could definitely use those tips below. I just always feel like I get in a rut where it's just like hallway with doors. I don't know, is that the common thing for upstairs? So this is the one part I decided to change. I decided to make this like a larger like family bathroom instead of just an ensuite. Because like the one up the stairs, I thought it'd be more of like an open bathroom. This one would be more of like a family bathroom. I don't know why you need 2 sinks, but hey, it's a mansion. So I don't know, I'm just trying to find an excuse for me using up space. I find it hard. The larger the house you make, the more everything has to make sense space-wise. But at the same time, it's like, what do you add? And in like these integral spaces, I know I could like fill it with furniture, but when it's empty, it looks so barren. And I'm just like, what am I going to add here? Yeah, in my dream world of what I wanted to do with this house is with like the hill, I wanted to have a basement and then have like a door that goes out to regular flat terrain. But I don't even know if you can do that in The Sims to begin with, so I didn't even want to try to attempt that. So I decided to make these little steps down. I kind of redid them a few times. This whole entire build was just completely trial and error and error and error and error, and kind of trying to trek through and then me trying to figure out what type of trees I wanted outside, and I couldn't get the step the way I wanted it. And I probably should have gone back and fixed it, but I don't care. This is what we got. It's good enough, and thankfully I centered that window because it's bugging me a bit. I wanted to match the stone in the front and the back, which I tried, and then I actually decided not to. So yeah, I don't know why I got rid of the step there either, but I did, so I'm not going back and editing that. I edited a few things that were bugging me, and that was good enough. And yeah, just add some little like bushes so people don't completely fall, you know, hopefully. Or at least they'll fall into a bush. Well, Sims will fall into the bushes instead of like down the hill, like tumbling down. And I added like these lavender plants to kind of go around the sides. I cut this so you didn't have to see me doing all of that. And I added a big tree over there. And I really like how I just put a bench right there. I think that'd be like a really peaceful, calm spot, and some places for plants. And I made a path, but I didn't like that path, so I redid the path, and I kind of made it more a little bit just like a natural dirt, like people have been walking here. The grass isn't as upkept as it should be because of that. And then I just like throw a bunch of trees because this lot is so big. I wouldn't know what to do. Oh, me counting. Isn't that great? Because symmetrical and too much counting in this video. So here's the final look through. I'm sorry it was a little overcast in my game. I'm still trying to figure out how to do this, but I'm happy with how it ended up. So you go up all those steps, get a really good workout even before you get inside, and here's the foyer. To the right, you would have the living room, which we're walking in right now. Please ignore the bushes that are clipping through the wall. I will pretend I don't see that. And then through the back door, you would have like a family room, which would be more informal. I love those windows though. I think that's really pretty how it overlooks the lake, and I think it's really pretty. There's a fireplace there, and then back in the corner, there's just a little half bath, so nothing too fancy. If we go back out to the other side of the foyer, we will get the formal dining room. And I don't know why it is not showing the light, but there's a light. There's the chandelier in there. Those are the chandeliers I changed it for. I technically used it, I think, in the living room, same ones in a different color, but shh, we don't have to notice that. And this would be like the room that connected, so it'd be more of like a mud room, I guess now. Like I said, laundry, washer, and dryer in there I definitely put. And you can go down the steps, and if you go down that way, you could sit down at the little bench underneath the tree. I thought that was really pretty. I really liked that aspect. And then you have the flower beds over there. And then if we go back inside and just go straight back to the foyer, because you don't need to walk through everything, we're gonna go up the stairs. And I really, really love this little nook in the stairway. I thought it was really pretty. And then we're gonna go upstairs. One other thing that bugs me when the camera turns around, and I tried to fix this one and I decided not to care, was like how the paneling is like wood panel, wallpaper, wood panel, wallpaper because of the two different floors. I couldn't get that to fix. That's when I wish we could like have direct matching in this game, but you know, we have what we have in this game, so. There's like a guest bathroom, I guess, even though it's on the second floor. We have one bedroom here. This one's kind of like more blue colored. I kind of try to keep them kind of color coordinated. That'd be like the dressing room or walk-in closet. And then there is a little bath here. I went a little funky with the tiling, but I think the toilet kind of is on theme a bit more. Back out to the hallway, across the hall. We have like the red bedroom. I like this one the best. I think this one looks really pretty. And in here you have a bathroom with tub. And then if we go back out, we can go into that portion of the dressing room. I mean, these wouldn't even have to be like dressing rooms or like a walk-in closet. You could also use it as like a nursery if it's a large family or something. There's other ways, or it could be like an in-suite office. Here's the final bedroom with like a little walk-in room. I think this one's the smallest. And the next one across the hall has the smallest bedroom, probably because of the fireplace. But it has a door that connects to the giant bathroom. So, and then that just goes back out to the hallway. And that is it. So, please let me know what you think. Do you have as much issues with the terrain tools as I do, or was I just driving myself crazy? If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to subscribe and like it. And I will be hopefully posting more content now, so have a little bit more time on my hands, and I definitely feel like now that I got this video over, I will have more time. So thank you all for watching and have a great day.